On New Year's Eve, the old lady gave all her grandsons a big red envelope, but didn't give one to her granddaughter. Faced with her daughter's grievances and the family's ridicule, the woman remained unfazed because her mother-in-law was about to pay a heavy price for her favoritism. After dinner, the woman quickly took her daughter home. After putting her daughter to sleep, her husband suddenly stopped her, pleading with her to let it go for his mother's sake. Before he could finish, the woman took out her phone and cancelled the family's luxury European cruise in front of her husband. Looking at the 180,000 yuan refund from the bank, the woman calmly told her husband that this money was her daughter's red envelope. Only then did her husband completely lose his composure, questioning how she could unilaterally cancel the tour group. Their whole family had even gotten their passports ready for this trip. The mother kept telling everyone they were going to Europe. How could the woman cancel just because of a red envelope? Faced with her husband's barrage of questions, the woman suddenly felt a pang of sadness. At that moment, her mother-in-law called her husband. He hesitated for a few seconds, but ultimately picked up the call. Before she could say anything, the mother-in-law started cursing, questioning how the woman dared to cancel the tour group. Meanwhile, the older brother and sister-in-law chimed in sarcastically, saying the woman was rich and willful, not caring about the family at all. The younger brother and sister-in-law also joined in, saying they had already taken time off work and the trip absolutely could not be cancelled. Faced with the family's accusations, the cowardly husband not only failed to defend the woman but also handed the phone to her to deal with it herself. The woman saw this and hung up without hesitation. She then blocked all her family's contacts. The woman warned her husband to recognize his identity. There was nothing to discuss until she was clear about things. After saying this, she turned and went back to her room. The husband, seeing this, anxiously knocked on the door from outside, pleading with her not to cause more trouble. But the woman ignored him because she had a tough battle waiting for her the next day. As expected, early the next morning, her mother-in-law stormed into the house with the whole family. The woman calmly walked out upon hearing the noise. The mother-in-law immediately began to curse at her, saying she had forgotten to give the granddaughter a red envelope last night. Does the woman really need to be so petty? This scene happened to be witnessed by her daughter, and the husband hurriedly took their daughter back to the room. Once the daughter left, the woman had no more concerns. Since her mother-in-law kept saying she was being calculative, the woman decided it was time to settle some scores. 3 years ago, when her older brother's son needed 100,000 yuan for school fees, the woman didn't hesitate to pay it. Last year, when the younger brother got married and needed 500,000 yuan for a down payment on a house, it was again the woman who lent him the money. They had agreed that he would pay it back a year later, but now both their children were already grown up. Where had that money gone? Plus, her mother-in-law had never worked and had promised to split the 5,000 yuan monthly living expenses among the 3 families, but the older brother had to pay for the house, and the second brother was getting married. In the end, all the money was deducted from the woman's bank card. He didn't lack this little money, but he knew that even if he used it to feed a dog, it would still wag its tail at him. But what had he left for himself? Since the mother-in-law kept saying that the daughter didn't deserve his red envelope, then he might as well demand all the money spent on the woman over the years back. Unexpectedly, the mother-in-law acted shamelessly, saying that since the woman married into their family, all her money belonged to the Zhou family. The woman laughed out loud upon hearing this. Since he couldn't reason with his mother-in-law, he might as well let a lawyer deal with her. He wanted to see if he could get that money back.